Guys, let's start. So, uh, firstly, please raise your hand who missed the previous lesson, who are there for the first time. Okay, a bunch of you. Are you in Telegram chat? Okay. Um, please join me at the break or after the lesson, and I will figure out how you can see what we all done yesterday. Secondly, at the break, our Peter will meet your attendance. Please join him. Без правил, если ты тоже подсоединишься. Okay, join our TAs, Pavel and Peter, and they will mark your attendance. Today is the second lecture about LaTeX and the second and last more or less simple lecture. So this is the level of, for those who are beginners of LaTeX, for those of you who never saw it, and we hope that these two lectures are introduction for the LaTeX. So for those of you who are familiar with LaTeX, I suggest that the last 3 lectures will be challenging for you, and so listen the last 3 lectures, and this will be still rather simple. This one is rather simple lecture still. And well, one more question here. One more question. Who watches the videos I record today? Does anyone watch the videos I record for you? Nobody. Yeah, great. If you struggled yesterday about where to put anything, where to put a package, where to put comments, the videos will answer the users' questions. Okay. Yesterday we were talking about LaTeX in some local way, how to add a picture, how to add a table, how to add a lines of codes, how to add a math equation. And today we will go globally. We will understand how LaTeX creates the entire document itself, what you can do to create the entire document itself. And yesterday, maybe lots of comments and lots of environments and so on, they may be confused, and you may ask why we need so many equations, so many comments to do the things that are done much more simpler in Microsoft Word and so on. And the first brilliant of LaTeX is the mathematics, is how to write equations, is that you can write very, very complicated equations that you never can run in Microsoft Word. For example, the OL was suggestion by Pavel. Do you remember the OL? With this head, with this eyes. So I don't know how can I write anything like this in Microsoft Word. But there are much complicated examples. For example, during my thesis, I have a formula that was in 3 lines, and I want it aligned by a specific plus sign. And it was pretty easy in LaTeX, but it was complicated and maybe just unrealistic in Microsoft Word. But it was one brilliant, and another thing why we use LaTeX is because it's simplicity of how to refer to some parts of the document, and how it automate a lot of things by itself. Obviously now the overlap of Microsoft Word and LaTeX is very big. About more than a half of what we are talking today can be reproduced by Microsoft Word, but still in LaTeX it's native, and it's always one style. So let's begin. Today there will be less slides than yesterday, and we will have two major sections. First major section is about document creation, is how to create a regular article, book, or so on. This section will be needed when you will create, for example, your thesis, or when you will wrap a LaTeX in some scientific article, when you will use it to add some scientific articles. And the next part is presentation creation. LaTeX is not so commonly used for presentation because it's still supposed to be academia. I hope that you will understand that it is not just to academia. And it can done very wonderful things with presentations. And needless to say that our own presentation was created in LaTeX too. Let's begin technical agreement. For those of you who was absent yesterday, I'll remind. We will have two slightly different lecture versions for in-class view here and for out-class to look at home. The major difference is that the in-class version has lots of pauses and stops for just to communicate, and the out-class version has more information. For example, it has practically in each slide it has some reference and footnotes that refer to manuals and sometimes tell how a tricky part of the slide was done itself. So I hope it will be interesting for you to search for this, to go to these links and look at this. This is like a frame in class. Yeah. The footnotes, they will appear like this in out-class version, so we will not see it now. Also, sometimes I will use this magic hat. Magic hat means that I will about tell some magic of LaTeX, some beautiful things that will rarely be used, but still sometimes it must be used. And I will focus on pictures that are produced, but not on the code that is produced. Also, we have in-class tasks. They are mentioned like this. And we have two levels. First level is majority for you. We hope that it's pretty simple to everyone for created. And the level 2 is advanced level. We still hope you will done it, but it's okay if you struggle some and have some problems. Today, special thanks for my previous co-instructor, David Saikin, because he was created the basis of Beamer presentation. And obviously our TAs, Peter Borisovets, Pavel Kuzmin, and Anna Litvin, they will help it. They will help for you and for me. Yesterday, it was some problems of saving task. I just don't think about before it was too late. Today, we will ask you to save all the tasks you will create during the class and submit all the tasks. How to do it? If the task supposed that you can, task is local, for example, add some command and so on, you can use new page. I'll show you. KVCP, for example, I write the previous task. I start at the begin document, make new page, and write new task there. You see this new task is at the beginning, so you see it and it's quite simple. Another thing you can do is just create a new TeX file. You run a new file, name it, for example, exercise 01, and there will be an empty TeX. You just copy from previous one and do whatever you want. So a new task, a new check file. If you will struggle with some of this, just ask me or Chase and we will help you. Let's go to the creation of the document, the first of our major sections. When you are writing a scientific document, it's a very common part that you want to refer to some of its parts. For example, we have the section number 38, and we want to refer it there. We have equation number 3, and we want to refer it there. And page number 7, and we want to refer it there. It's a very common stuff in academia. Well, but how to use it? To go for this stuff, we will go a step backward and understand how LaTeX sees the documents, how it creates a document. So you have two quasi-independent pipeline. Firstly, you need just to create an element. When you create an element, if this element suppose that it will be numbered, LaTeX will automatically number it. For example, yesterday you were working with equations, and you may remember that equations was numbered automatically starting from first, then second, and then so on. The same things done for sections, the same things done for subsections, figures, tables, and lots of other stuff. Actually, in one of the last lectures, we will understand how to create things like this by our own. So this is the first pipeline. Just create a new section, and then another section, will be numbered automatically. The another pipeline is to refer to element that was created previously, or will be created soon after. You done it explicitly, and you need to show LaTeX that you will refer to the document. And all of this done implicitly in the core of LaTeX by the mechanism called counters. Well, it's just simple integer counters that come from 1 to infinity, and there is a specific counter that is bind to the sections, a specific counter that is bind to the equations, and so on. And you can manipulate these counters if you want. We'll show it today a little bit, and in the fourth lecture, a much more advanced level. So, this is the major slide of this presentation, because in LaTeX we have a little thing to understand and a lot of things to know just to understand what command is, what another command, and so on. And this is a critical slide to understanding, so please look at it if you are not familiar with LaTeX. At first, TeX has counters for lots of things, counter for section, for equation, and so on. When you add element, a command that you use updates this counter. So it prints this counter and update. After you use the second equation, for example, the counter bind to equations become free, and it printed. Then, when you want to refer to something that can be referred to section, equation, so on, you need explicitly to tell TeX about it. What will done? TeX will see that you need to refer to some element and store it to external file. If anyone ever compile TeX offline, you will see these files in your file system. Do anyone use TeX offline? Anyone? Yeah, one person, two persons. Okay. So in online process, it's hard for you, but it's just regular offline files that are stored the data. And when a TeX runs the second time, he finds a place where there is some counter. He understands that this counter has any number that is stored in external file, and substitute the counter to the number. Sometimes you need to run external command, and TeX is always read the document from top to the bottom. Okay, let me stack for this slide a little bit more. So you may refer the section that is, for example, on page number 7 in the page number 1. And you can refer it in the page number 11. But TeX always go from top to the bottom. It just can in one run to understand what counter will be if this counter is not just introduced. So it stores the data and then runs secondly. And in the second run, he knew all the data that it means because of the external file storage. Again, it's hard for you when you use online TeX, but if you are using offline, sometimes you need to run not the TeX compile, but some external file. And this is, for example, bibliography that will parse the TeX files, create the bibliography, and then TeX runs again. And the seventh point about from top to bottom is important in one other thing. When you introduce some command, it's practically never affects anything before this command was introduced. For example, yesterday we was mentioned about graphics paths, the command that can change the default location where TeX will find the graphics. And I'll tell you that it's the best way to put this command is in preamble before begin document, but actually this command may be put it anywhere, but it will affect only the text after it. If you use command, for example, huge, it will be make huge on anything only after the document, not before. And this is why when you are not really explicitly wanted, this is why all settings must be done in preamble, because usually you need all settings to be affected for the whole document. And if the document starts, everything that was affected before, can be affected by the settings. We have a geometry package. We want to affect it the whole page, so we can't use it when the page is already start to render. Yeah, so this is the most important slide for today's lectures. Do you have questions about it, about the pipeline of TeX work? Questions number 1, number 2, number 3. Okay, no questions. Everything rest is details. What I mean that we will use lots of commands, we'll understand lots of commands and see how they works. But ideologically, they works in this mechanism. Okay, document consists of several parts. You may know all of them. And our goal for today is to understand how to create them. Title is done by comments like this. A tricky part is that when you write title in the LaTeX, you don't actually print the title. It's a contradictionally, it's counterintuitive, but when you write a title, you don't print it. When you print it, when you use make title. Do anyone can suppose why this counterintuitive part is taking place? Why you need another command to make title, not the same as just to put it there? It's tricky, but you may think about the literature you see in your life, think about everything you read, and maybe you will see why it's important. Yeah. And this is, well, yesterday I have the stickers, and we will suggest that we will tell you, send the stickers, give the stickers to the people who are great, and you are great. Sometimes, especially in the books or in presentations, the title are repeated, for example, at every page. You may know the presentation where the title is in every page. And this is why TeX needs to storage it in one part and produce it in another part. Yeah. The date is another command that you need to use to produce date, but actually date is not a date. Date is just anything you put where its guidelines say to put the date. You want to put, you may put some comments. For example, you may put today. You may put the year, month, and day mechanism, or you may put any attributary text, and for everyone it will be the date. If you don't put the date, if you don't use this command, it will be the same as you will if you print the date to date. If you don't want to put the date, you need to explicitly make it empty. And you may ask, why is this the article there? And it is an intrigue that I will hold till the 4th lecture. Also, text usually have titles and authors, and here it's quite explicit. You just write author command and who you are. Author and affiliations. Author and affiliations. This tricky end command is needed because you want to see it as an end, but TeX may compile it like this. And thanks, it's affiliations, and it's go to it's a footnote. You obviously must see this stuff and articles, and it may be affiliation, it may be some attributed text, because nobody will judge you if you like cats. Some articles has abstract, it's as simple as an abstract. And after the title page, we have structure. We have structure, lots of parts of the structure. It might be part, it might be chapter, section, subsection, subsection, paragraph, subparagraph, and so on. You may notice that this chapter is commented. It because not all document classes has all of these structured sections, structure comments. You will have a task soon after to play with these comments, and if you see that one another document class don't have any of this comment, just comment it out and then uncomment when you move to the next document class. You will see. You see that every document, every structure has its counter. Well, not every, this have counter, this have counter, this have counter, and this, it's too small to have counters, but still. And yesterday we was discussed that if you used comment with stairs, that no counter will be reduced. It's not the built-in idea, it's not the idea that built in the core of Tech, but it's the stuff that people communicate and decide that will be standard because it's clear and consistent way to do this. To add table of content, you need just to put the command table of contents and so on. And new page to make it and new pages. Yeah, pretty simple. Also, you have tables on some different stuff, figures and tables. If you use dissertation, Piotr, I will ask your help. If you use dissertations, sometimes it asks you the list of tables and use the figures. Now let's play a little bit. Piotr will send to the Telegram the first, already sent the first exercise. At the first, please just copy and paste to your tech, and then change this article firstly to the book, second to the report, and then return to the article. If there is an error, if something is not compiled, comment the line with error. Just comment out so it will not. It will compile, and then when you use another stuff, another document class, uncomment it. The goal is here to see how the same structure is different from one document to another. And raise your hand if you have any questions. who can tell what's the major difference between how Tech prints this all the sections in article, book, or report? Who can tell what the difference are and how this changes? Too much difference. Okay, maybe some difference. Yeah, I have photos, so I have my head. See, it's beautiful. Okay, what difference you notice? Yeah, subsection is only in articles, and chapter is not available on article. What another difference you can see? Yeah, for sometimes the new page are added implicitly, because for example in books, I think in books we are when you read books, the new section is always the new page. And by the way, let's talk about a book a more precise way. Do you notice that the books and the articles have different indents to the left of the page and the right of the page? The books are just, how it's called? It's the left page and the right page are different. Do you notice this? Yeah, and usually it's quite hard to make it, but again, in Tech, it's just out of the box. Okay, let's go further. Yeah, and now you will have a task. A task, level 1 and level 2, as always. The first task for level 1 is to create something like this. So you need to use title, you need to use table of content, and you need to use an equation with or without the numbering. For level 2, you need to make pretty much the same, but you need to put a yes here, 255, and please don't put it just by number, use the command, find the command, use it. And you will need to Google some stuff. For example, you will need to Google how to add this and try to search. Maybe you can ask ChatGPT. So if you don't know the command, Google it. It's pretty common stuff in LaTeX. So again, Peter sent this to a new document for you and try to create it. Level 1, it's everything that we already use, and level 2, it's a bit more complicated, and you need to Google some new stuff that we will also not told today because it's more rare part. But the Googling is another skill that you need when you use LaTeX. There is a tricky part about the equation without numbering. There is two things how you can do it. First one that I was supposed, you can use just $2. And it will produce this equation with no number. The second part, you can use begin equation with star and end equation with star. But you need to use package CMS math there. So if you want to use presentation with equation with star, use package smfmath. If you want to use built-in, use just $2 and it will work. Yeah. And I point you out that you can't just write the title as a text. You need to use title command and then use make title. Please see that make title works. Okay, while we have internet problems, I will tell, I think, for those of you who are very beginning, so you're very beginning, you can look there. This information was in one of the videos I sent today. When you try to copy from the slides and don't things, you put to the slides something like this. If you just copy paste, you can put the slides something like this, and then there will be two document classes. There will be two begin documents and two end documents. But in the LaTeX, you need only one document class, only one begin document, and only one end document. So what you need to do is to put everything that need to put before begin document. So before this line, you guys use package something. Everything you need to put in the document, you put between begin document and end document, and never duplicate begin document, and never duplicate end document, never duplicate document class. Okay, guys, who has problem to go to Overleaf because of some internet problems? Okay, most of you. Then we will leave this task for a bit, and I either hope that it will be recovered or switch to Papiria for now. And now, just a moment, I will see. Okay, we will make two breaks today because this task was very prolongated. So let's have again 10 minutes break, then return, then we'll have another part, and then will be the second break. 10 minutes break for you. So Overleaf is still unavailable for you. Check it, yeah. As you understand, this is not what I expect for today's lecture, but we will try to do something. Well, at first, well, I'll use another mic. Our plan is the following. At first, we will see when we finish this task, then will be hopefully a theoretical task, a theoretical time that I will just tell you the presentation and you will listen to the presentation. And when we go to the next exercise, is Overleaf will be empty and the Papiria, another online text editor, will be unavailable too. I'll make a live coding and try to implement it with your suggestions. We will make something like this. As I understand, we have some global issue, not for us, but for everyone else too. Okay, so about the exercise you was supposed to done. What was there any problems? So no, wrong question. Are there any problems now? Do you want to see the source code how it can be? Okay, then I'll show you the source code. I hope I have one. Okay, I have it there, at least. At least there. Okay, let's see what is what. At first, I tell there is only one document class and it's always at the beginning. If you have two document class, that's wrong. You need to remove one of them. Also, there is only one begin document and only one end document and nothing else after the end document. Never anything after the end document. And then we have some package, fonts package for fonts. Page style empty, don't think about it, it's just remove the page at the bottom, don't think about it. And then you need to tell LaTeX what is title. Title is my favorite equation. I say that you need to notice this, that here was italic. I will try to make it double screen, split the screen. Just a moment, like this, and and like this, yeah. So this is italic and this is italic. Why I mention this? So you understand, you can use all LaTeX command in equation. You can make it not italic, you may enter the formula there, you may enter the picture there, and it will be appeared. And then me is author, date, there is no date provided and no date provided. And again, once again, this stuff doesn't print anything, it just tells that someone that it will be printed later. And when it will be printed, when you use command make title. So this stuff don't print anything, so that's why it's before begin document. And make title print something, that's why it's at the document. If you put make title somewhere there, the title will be at the end of the pages. So it's just print. So make title produces following title. Then table of content produces a label content and well content. Then you use new page to make this section at the new page. Write what is the section is. This number produced automatically. First equation is begin equation, end equation. Subsection has no title, no number. That's why it's star. And this equation produced by $. So is it clear or you need to, there is some problems there for you? Okay, any questions? No questions, okay. Then let's go further and pray that everything will be okay, because everything we can is to pray for it. Yeah? I don't hear, sorry. Show what? Oh, level 2, okay. Okay, if you are interested in level 2, I can show it. Boom. It's level 1. Level 2, well, basically, it have epigraph, it have italic shape, and so on. And then it has a hash rule, it has hash rule to make this vertical line, to make this horizontal line. This horizontal line is hash rule. This stuff is epigraph. Okay, let's go further, and we will understand how the references works. And this is, once again, one of the main brilliant part of LaTeX, because, well, you can reproduce something like this in Microsoft Word and Google now, but still, for these documents, it's just additional add-ons, and in LaTeX, its main content, it's built in to make it clear and consistent way. References. So, if you have, once again, such a nice section number 38 and equation number 3 in page number 7, it will be great to refer there something like this and not to stuck with these numbers, because what if we have an equation before, all numbers will be fluid. So actually we can do it, and this is the greatest part of, one of the greatest parts. And how to do it? First of all, I told you that you need explicit tell LaTeX that you will save this for later. This explicitly telling is by make label section, label equation. And you can use something like this, or much more readable notations with double dots. LaTeX will still understand it as one word, but it's much more readable. So use this notation. And then you need to refer. First label, first tell LaTeX that you will label, you will refer, and then refer. To refer to the content, you simple write ref command. A ref command to refer to the content, and page ref to refer to the page. So let's go again. We labeled this one and this one. This is refer for this is refer for this, and this is page ref for this page. Does the syntax is clear? Great. Yeah, combined it this stuff. So this label is this label, this label is this label, and this label. The first problem you may appear when your document is about 100 of pages. It's just annoying to see what labels is there, because labels are in your source code and the produced number are in the produced PDF. Hopefully there are some packages that can help you. And the package you will need to use there is show labels. Show labels, well, as it sounds from its naming, it shows the labels. And package show labels with the same code will produce labels like this. It will be just at the right of your page. And it will be more and more simpler to understand what labels are for one equation for another equation. And here I want you to notice another power of LaTeX. It's why it's not what you see and what you get style is important. Because when I use this package, I use package show labels, but I don't change anything in my text. My text was the same. And I still have another view and still have this section. When I will give this document for printing, all I need is just comment this package again, comment it out, and it will be hidden. And it's this difference between the content and how it appears, it's one of the main logical division in LaTeX, and for example in HTML and CSS2, returning to the previous lecture and returning to the connection between HTML and LaTeX. So you can do a rather magical stuff and not tell how you want to write it, just put the content. And by the way, let's return to this title. I ask you why you need additional make title to make title. Why not common title is just enough? The first reason is because in different documents you may want this knowledge to be stored. And the next difference, because you don't want to think about how it produces title. You don't want to think about what font size is for the title. You don't want to think what this space between author and date. You don't want to think about all of this. All you want is just tell that I have the same the title, the author, and the date, and everything else will be produced by LaTeX itself. The problem appears when you want to make some contradictionary, some attributary, but firstly, it's not really the common thing. Usually you want to follow the rules. And secondly, we will understand how to make such things at the last 2 lectures. Return. The next thing you can struggle with is such kind of question marks. These question marks means that you have a typo somewhere. LaTeX try to compile the document. It tried to add a label from the external file we were talking at the beginning to this document, but he don't find the label. He don't find the label, and then he tells that he don't know what the label is. So you need just to fix that typo, and it will be okay. Another problem when you can face with this error is when you compile TeX offline. I mentioned that you need to compile TeX twice to make stuff work. Well, maybe today we will compile it offline because everything else is not working. And you will see. Yeah, you see there is uppercase and there is lowercase and this produce errors. The next stuff is counter domination. I really like this title. I really like this term because it's, domination. The counter domination tell you when to renew the counter. You may notice in books that some equations go from 1 to infinity from the first page to the end page, but most common you use the numbering is stick to the section number. So the section number 1, you have counter number 1.1, 1.2 and center. Section number 2, you have counter 2.1, 2.2 and center. And how to do it? Well, for some document classes, it is built in, but you can use it by your own by use things called number with. Yeah, so equation, you see that equation is bind to section, and this is enough to make document counter like this. This domination is part of a more abstract and more general problem how to dominate every counter and upon another counter, but we will tell about it at the 4th lectures. Just a moment. And another thing that is very important, especially in academia, is the bibliography. You know that every page have lots of bibliography of another pages that is referred to. How to do it? what you can need to do is cite the bibliography with command cite. And then you need somewhere to find this, to find the information. So this label, where it is. You use bibliography, and this is the name of the file. So enable in file called sites, there is all information. And this is bibliography style. You know there are pretty much bibliography styles. We have IEEE, we have APA, we have GHOST styles, and they are all done by document style. How the information about the articles are stored in file.bib, and it's quite simple. You have such structure, so for example, book, author, title, journal, volume, page, and so on. It's quite simple to read, but in most cases you don't need to make it by your own. Yeah, if it's offline, again, you need to compile it twice, because if you don't compile twice, it will wait to get the bib files. Let's check if internet is already worked, and if it does, I will show you the main way. Yeah, okay. In Google Academia, if you have a search for any pages, for example, let's search for my scientific supervisor. By example, my scientific supervisor, he have a wonderful page about wonderful stuff about Fourier transform and synchrotron resonance, and you have a site, and bibtech. Run there, and this is just a record you need to put to bib file. As simple as this. And every article you can find in Google Scholar can be cited by site. Yeah, by the way, I have a brilliant scientific supervisor for the record, so join our lab and so on. If you use, if you go to the pages of your favorite journal, most probably there will be another page how to cite this concrete article and bib format too. And if you use Mendeley, Zotero, or so on, it will be you can transform this record to bib files. So because it's very standard format, lots of bibliography managers can make it for you. Well, still you can create it for yourself. If you want, you have article, you have book, you have something else. You can fill all this form by yourself, or you can ask ChatGPT in nowadays, and it will produce this record for you. Just produce the record and put it somewhere in the article, in the bib file. Okay, about the references, pretty much all. About useful comment, what we have? Some useful comments to structure the document. The first useful comment is footnote. Basically, it produces footnotes, as you understand. So just write it somewhere. Oh, by the way, another why again I like it's not what you see is what you get style, because you tell footnote. You write this comment in this text, because logically this footnote is something that sticks in your head to this text, but it will be produced somewhere else. So when you use source code, you don't need to understand where is this footnote, but when you have produced the document, it's in the right place. Sometimes you need some alignments. Horizontal alignments, it's right, left, or center. not in academia, but for some of your own needs. And that's not all. We will talk about alignment and spaces much more in the fourth lecture. And for page break, oh, I forgot my hat. Yes, this is a magic page. Magic page, I need my hat. Sorry. Magic! You need new page or page break. You can use quarters. I like these quarters the most on the internet. So the main problems of all quarters is the internet. People immediately believe in this authority that Vladimir Lenin said in this year. You can use something like this obey lines, so every new line will be a new line. You may use marginal nodes. Who can find marginal node there? Who can find what is this marginal node? Where it is? This is marginal node. This one. The marginal node is just a node to the left or to the right to the page. And it's not very common, but when it's useful sometimes. And here, and we go to the next document, and let's check is something working, and if not, we will do something else. Okay, overleaf. Oh, overleaf is working. Check please overleaf that it's worked for you. Please check if it worked for you. Check is that overleaf has worked for you, and I will ask Peter to send the task. And this task is not really straightforward. You can do when you think you want this following params. For level 1, it must be an article with at least 2 pages, so don't forget about the new page. It must contain one equation. Don't forget about all equations, how you can produce it. You already must know. And it must refer to equation number. So don't forget the label and don't forget the refer to this label. And level 2, we contains also a section and subsection, and you need to refer to it. You need to change equation numbering. You need to change equation numbering like this, and see the slide about equation domination, or Google how to change the equation numbering. So this is task for you. Well, by doing this task, you will understand how to create any document like scientific articles, because scientific articles have these equations. You must label to refer to these equations. Well, you must also use cite, and it is not supposed to do in this document, but you can cite if you want. But this is practically all you need to the basic level. Well, actually, try to cite something. Try to go to Google Scholar, use your favorite article, find add bib file, and cite. If it's the second level, but still you can try and ask us if you have any questions. Okay, who needs more time for level 1 task? Nobody raise your hand. Okay. Once again, who done level 2? Who already done level 2? Okay, few of you, but you can done it by yourself if you want. Level 1, as a remind, was majority. Now, while you was working on this task, I created something by my own. Please look at the screen, and I have something to show for you. No, I can't make it high. Oh no, I can make it higher. I create two files. First is the tex file, a really simple tex file that you already see. The tex file begin document, there is some section called test, there is some text that I want to label to refer to an equation that will go further. The equation, we label this equation, and we refer this equation again. And then I have cite an article of my scientific supervisor where what is this text? This text is another file called BIP. I find this refer in Google Scholar and just put it there. Google Scholar automatically give me an ID, and I add this ID there. This, my BIP, is the name of this file. Let's compile it once and see what's happened. If I compile it once, first, LaTeX will give me warnings. LaTeX warning reference on page 1 is undefined, and and on line 10 and line 15. Also, citation is undefined. Why LaTeX give me this warning? Because LaTeX always run from the top to the bottom, and at the first run, it doesn't understand where to put this label, where to find these labels. But he done some task. He done some useful things, and this file was my original, and I have this file now, test aux. Let's see what it is. It has some LaTeX code that refer to Nikolaev. It says that there is a citation Nikolaev. It says that the equation that was referred as EII have first number and first page. Now this LaTeX has information it needed to produce to substitute the label to the equation, to the number, because this number is the first number. And PDF was now have such kind of stuff. We produce it, compile it second time, and then the equations is already done, it's there. But citations are not there, because to substitute the citation, you need external program. Let's see how it's changed. It's done change any tell, because all this information was before. And if I run external program to compile the citation, then I will have a bunch of new files, test BBL, that produce quite of tex code. So it has begin, it has end, it has some bibliopage item, and it has text of all information. It have the full name, it have full surnames, it have full title, and so on. It also have Styles. EM is for italic here. And BLG have some additional information that I don't know what this. I don't like it. And now we can compile LaTeX the third time, and it will use the equation number from this text, from this file. It will use the bibliography information from this file, and finally, no, we need to produce it once again, sorry. And finally, the equation is there, as a bibliography reference is there. So all this process is hide for you by overleaf, but sometimes it is important to see that you have this process, you have these files. Okay, now we are going to the last part, and we will have a little break again about, let's tell, not 10 minutes break, but 5-minute breaks, just to walk and sit, and then we will go to this part, and I be a bit faster for you to not to prolongate. So let's have a 5 minutes break. And start 7 minutes break and start in 8:15. A break. Guys, let's start. Please wake up if you're sleeping, and we'll start. The last part, guys, take attention. We have a break right now, so please take attention. The last part about presentation creation. And in LaTeX, we create presentation during this document class called Beamer. It's the standard for LaTeX. It can be found. And if it's a bit contradictory to make presentation in LaTeX, but if you already have an article, for example, and you have all these equations and all these sections, it's much easier to transform it to the presentation than to transform Microsoft Word to the PowerPoint presentation, because all you need is just work with text. And also, there are some stuff that you can't just do in presentations. For example, well, I'll tell about it the second time, but I am really proud of this tiny progress bar that goes from the start to the end section. I'm really proud of this because it took me about 4 or 5 hours to figure out how to do it. And in the last 2 lectures, we will understand why it's such annoying stuff. But still, I can do it because I can do anything that I can program in LaTeX, but I can't do anything in PowerPoint. Again, document structure and style. Simple document structure is something like this. You can just use document class Beamer. Document class Beamer is for you, and every slide is before begin frame and end frame. The general document structure is there. So document class Beamer, begin and end document, don't forget it. It's the majority part for every LaTeX class, begin document. You can use syntax frame, or you can use begin frame and frame with title. You can also use sections and subsections. By default, still, it will not be printed as separate part, but you can ask LaTeX to do it. The title page, it's done exactly the same. You done the title page in the regular document. just a title, author, and so on. You can use subtitle and so on, and mark begin and make title, and it will produce everything you need. There are some terms. Terms is how LaTeX will make what the beauty of the LaTeX. Okay. This term matrix. Please, for now, let's see these terms. Google one of these keywords, Beamer term matrix or Beamer font term galaxy. Please Google it, and we wait for a minute for you to see what you can do out from the box, out from the standard terms. Google one of these terms. Also, when you feel your beautiful fields of beauty will be fulfilled, I'll ask you to try to compile this simple Beamer document. Peter will send it for you right now to Telegram, or you can just rewrite it from there. Sorry, I don't think about it. Please make a Beamer document, just compile and see that's all working for you. Just hello world from the Beamer. Make it the separate text file. In overleaf, use new file and then put this text in a separate text file. So to task, first is just look at these Beamer terms. Second, to compile this simple Beamer document to see that everything is working for you. We will wait about 2 minutes to do this, and if everything will be ready, we will continue. Make it in a new file. Use new file in overleaf. Okay, who already compiled it and who are ready? Okay, who need more time? Nobody. Okay, let's go further. We use this instrument later. We need it later. Go further. Okay, if you want to make the sections clear at every section, you need to use the stuff called at beginning of section. You put it somewhere at the beginning of the document, and then every section, when you use the word section, it will produce this slide. It's pretty common to use columns in Beamer. By example, you can see two columns there. This one column, this is the second column with two columns. And it's done by environment columns and column. Beamer are colorful, so you need to use colors much often. For example, you can use red, blue, or green by using text color. Спасибо. And about colors, I again use my magic hat because it's time for magic. Yeah, you can define new colors if you want. RGB or, for example, RGB or SMIC and so on. You can use colors, you can mix them with syntax like this one, 30% of red and everything else is blue. You can customize, you can use blocks. Blocks is things like this, and you can customize them. You can use appendix. Appendix is just a frame, but the difference is that there is no, the number of framing is still 1, and appendix is a frame, but it's not increase the number of framing. You also can use bibliography as in the simple document if you produce some scientific presentation. Yeah, you can produce bibliography and much interesting way with such pictures. And you have a lot of tricks. Magic is over, but it will not be far away. Okay, tricks. First trick is pause, because as we see, the main command to create pauses is pause. Quite simple. You just put pause, and the next slide will appear only after you asked it. And you will notice that the number of frames is the same. So it's one frame, different pages, but one frame. There are some another tasks that it's not so common used, but still sometimes you need them. So like magic, we can on frame, on slide, we can pause, we can on slide, we can from slide, only, uncover, visible, invisible, and this all for stepwise. We have overlays, so you can do something like this, boom, 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 you see? Something like this, yeah, it's all with overlays. Also, you can use the image as animation. Let's make it again. Yeah, you see the animation. For me, it was mind-breaking that PDF has the animation, but still it has. I think it's cool. It produced something like this. And, well, that's practically all for the Beamer. When you know how to produce an article, to produce a Beamer is just a matter of practice, just to remember to put everything between frames. And we have next task for you. Level 1 is to produce just a presentation, and level 2 to produce a presentation with some overlays and uncovers. Peter, yeah, so this task are already in Telegram. Go on and produce your first presentation. If you want to use any term that you like, you can use it, or you can use the plain the simplest way. So, and as always, we are here for you. If you have questions, If it's something don't understandable, please go and ask. As in regular documents, everything is between begin document and end document. In Beamer presentation, every slide is from begin frame and end frame, and all writable context, all text and so on must be between begin frame and end frame. You can just change these frames. once again, I focus your attention on how to make slides like this. So it's the current section, but everything else is still there. It's as simple as create a comment at begin section and at begin of subsection. So this command at begin section will appear every time the section appears. And there is a frame that will be inserted. And so the same stuff is at the subsection. And now there are some options, for example, that I showed only current section and hide all subsections, hide all other sections, so on and so forth. But the point is the comment at begin section, somewhere at the beginning of the document in the preamble, and the exact slide that will be appear. the last minute, and we will continue and go to the end. Again, please, if you have questions, if you don't understand how to do something, please ask Tay or me or write in the Telegram chat later. Okay, guys, please look at me and let's continue. And we have, during our course, we will have only one pretty long task that will be hope task, but still we hope that we will give you time in the next 3 lectures to do it. This task is very arbitrary, so you can choose the level of this task by yourself. What you will need to do? You will need to find template and make a document based on this template. So the borders are quite wide and quite simple. For those of you who are beginners at LaTeX, I suggest you to find some templates of scientific article. For those of you who are advanced in LaTeX, I suggest for you to create something colorful like CV or poster or so on, but still it's up to you. The task will be during all this week and later. I don't know where is the formal deadline of our SCP course. I'll check and make a deadline, but still it will be as long as possible. And let's just check what you can do. You can use categories, for example, overleave journal articles and make any journal article you want. Or you can use, for example, calendars, make something like this. There is no much to implement, okay. There is CV. CV is the best part, and you can implement something colorful like this. Okay, first of all, and then you will need to give a PDF, and this is the only task when we'll ask you to give a source code too. Are there any questions on this task? Okay, no questions. So again, it's very wide and arbitrary, up to you. If you want to make it just for a record, or you're new at LaTeX and you need something simpler, take something like a journal article. If you are advanced at LaTeX and if you want to make something colorful, useful for you later, and obviously, if you want to use this opportunity to ask us some questions, and we will help you to make templates that you want, to make the document you want, you can use much more complex templates like templates of the CV. But all of this is user level, so knowledge that you have is enough to produce such a document. Make it, please, meaningful. Make it not just some random colors, random slides, random text, and random pictures. Make it meaningful. If it's a journal article, we will be great to see something about your research, for example, or research you're interested in. If it's CV, make it at least meaningful, at least seems like real. So this is final task. Peter will send this slide. Yeah. Yeah, okay. And URLs, please. Send the URLs too. две ссылки внизу. Ссылочки, ты видишь там ссылочки? Okay, and this will be the task from now to the end. Again, the next lecture will be about TeX, and it will be help you a little with some complex template to understand them. And the the fourth lecture and the fifth lecture, it can help you to modify template by your own if you will need to do it for the purpose not located in our class, but for your life. Because, for example, my CV was combined with two other CV I found in Overleaf and Papiria, but still it's unique, and it's based on my understanding of how my CV must be. It's not stuck in the template. And let's go to the end. Today, we look at the LaTeX at some global level. If yesterday we just look at it and start to understand locally how one equation, how one line, how one part of text work, now we use it globally. We know how to structure document, we know how to refer to the document, we know how to cite your bibliography and so on. Also, we know how to create presentation. You know that there are several document styles. You look at them and I hope you see that there are some beauty one, and maybe you will choose LaTeX for your presentation someday as well as for your articles and so and for CV and so on. And also we use something that is more advanced for the presentations, is tips, overlays, pauses, animation, etc. This was everything that we will done today. Again, there is reference. Again, the presentation will be uploaded to GitHub and will be available for you, but after this course. And the compiled version I will send today. And also I upload once a while it to YouTube. And the last few words about the next three lectures. As I told, these two lectures was introductions. This is the user level, the level to create any document as using the available templates. And this is why the task for you is to use this knowledge and see any template and create a document. And we are slowly going to the advanced mechanism and advanced topics. Next will be about TeX. It's the way to create graphics inside LaTeX. It may be a contradictionary why we need to use some visually stuff as graphics in LaTeX, which is not visual, it's just text, but there are some points where it is useful. And then the fourth lecture will be even more, slightly more advanced. It will be about how tech works and how it produces document. It will be, it will be deep, but still it will be rather simple to understand. And the fifth lecture will be about command creation, and it will have two parts. First, how to create arbitrary commands, and this will be available, I hope, for every of you to understand. And the next and the last section will be about programming. And programming in LaTeX, it's interesting, but it's very, very complex. So the last part will be, I will understand if you don't will not understand the last part. But it will be dense in time, so I hope you will still alive when this time is end. So this was introduction, and we will like to see you tomorrow when we will have more advanced, but still rather understandable, I hope, topic. Assignment will be created today, and okay, and that's all. See you tomorrow. Thank you for coming.